Hello, Pam Burrow's People Booster with your Breakfast Booster number 10. And I was catching up on MasterChef last night, a cookery competition. And there was a guy there who was really, really good at cooking and looked like he was going to do well in the competition. And they started asking him, what will you be like when you've got the celebrity chefs judging your food? And this is while he's preparing, like he's concentrating and whatever. And you could visibly see, as he was describing how nervous he would be to cook for the judges, these big blotches of red appearing on his face and neck. And by the end of the conversation, he was completely flushed. And it just brought home to me something that I've experienced and seen other people experiencing in these times of particular and unusual stress. And that is that the skin is the biggest organ of the body. The skin is an organ, and each part of our body will show signs of stress, and the skin can be the first one to do that. So for instance, I used to coach somebody who used to get terrible eczema outbreaks, and obviously you can look at things like, what are you allergic to, what sorts of foods or environments make it flare up, but to a large extent it was about stress. And when they managed to reduce their stress, the eczema pretty much almost went away. But in the meantime, the eczema was a little indicator. So I get a little twitch in my eye when I'm worrying too much. And instead of going, oh, got that twitch in my eye, why am I so stressed, and getting cross about it, I see it as a little tap on the shoulder, like, is there something you can do right now just to release the tension a little bit? So each time it twitches, I just take a breath and slow down a little bit. Maybe put a smile on my face, even if it's a fake one, just kind of changes the mood. So, yeah, and somebody else who's very close and precious to me didn't want to do a Zoom call because of having a big cold sore on their lip. And all of these things are signs of the body of being in stress. So what we need to be really conscious of at the moment, always, but especially now, is those little clues. Your mess can become your message. A little tap on the shoulder to say, hey, can you slow down a little bit, or lighten up a little bit, or release that tension? And I've certainly been having to do that and take those messages rather than ignore them, which I think we often do. We kind of like notice it and carry on being busy or worrying or whatever it is. I've read a really good book by a guy called Gabor Mate. Message me if you want to know more details about that. But basically the book is called When the Body Says No. And that happened to me on Saturday. I had every intention to do another one of these videos and woke up in the morning and my body said, no, you haven't stopped. And since all of this began, you've done a video every morning. You've been on Zoom, trying to do work stuff, trying to do family stuff, trying to just keep going, and I hadn't actually taken a proper break or had a day off. So my body made it happen. If you don't plan for rest, your body will decide, and your body doesn't always decide to do it on the day that's really most convenient for you. So plan it when it's convenient, otherwise the body will plan one when it's probably the worst moment, when you really have to do something. So so thinking about the messages your body's giving you, and particularly the skin today, noticing what your skin's doing. I know when all of this first kicked off, I got some spots on my chin. There's still a little bit there, I haven't covered them up, and the body is giving you clues. There's no mystery to the things that are erupting. And when we think of phrases like, oh, that really got under my skin, those kinds of phrases just remind us that the skin, it's like a little notice board. It's going, hello, we're not okay here. So let's start the morning with a stretch. Stretching up and breathing in, leaning to one side, that breath out that releases the tension, breathing in, and breath out, and breathing in, and then rolling the shoulders back and down. And that out breath is the one which allows us to release the tension. Are you breathing out enough today? Are you giving yourself a little break? So the guy on MasterChef that came out in all the blotches, he didn't make it through. But one of the chefs who right from the beginning said, I really love this and I'm totally focused and I feel very relaxed, that person is still in the competition. And it's just really interesting. I've noticed this with the Bake Off and all kinds of competitions, that actually the person who can carry on with the deeper breaths and the focus and staying calm tend to be the people who win. And they're not necessarily the people with the most creativity or the most skill from a starting point. They're the person who can hold on to their skills as they go through the stress. So I wish that for you, that you, every now and again, you relax, let go, kind of regroup, so that you can carry on doing the things that you do so well, mainly just being you. On YouTube, Pam Burrow's People Booster on YouTube, I've got a beach relaxation. So it's a video of a beach in the Maldives. And then there's my voice helping you to let go of tension. It's only about 20 minutes long. And if you just for 20 minutes a day manage to switch off entirely and take your head somewhere else, I promise you, your body will thank you and you will have less outbreaks of whatever your stress thing is. We all have different ones. I used to always have tonsillitis when I got very stressed. I don't tend to get that stress now, touch wood. But there'll be something, excuse me, that just to show you. The thing that you notice, maybe you bite your fingernails more, or you get crabby, or you notice that your stomach's not okay, or your appetite is voracious, or your appetite disappears. Whatever your little red flag is, notice it, but notice that your mess is a message, and answer the message. Do something about it to relax. Head to the Maldives, or just for the moment, relax your shoulders and take a breath and know that actually you're doing fine, and there's loads and loads of things that you can focus on to be grateful for right now. I had a little light bulb over my head the other day, which is I've known for a while that I'm quite a sensitive person, and there is research to show that people who are sensitive emotionally, so you kind of, if there's tension in the room, you are holding it or noticing it. If somebody else is distressed, you often get distressed with them. That kind of sensitivity it's a huge superpower, because it means you can empathise and you're in tune with the world. But it can be a super problem if what you're doing is absorbing other people's things and the drama of the situation. But I had a light bulb, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I had this light bulb moment. In fact, a light bulb moment. Here's my light bulb. I had a light bulb moment because I realised that it works both ways. What I know is that I'm sensitive, and there was some research to show that people who are sensitive emotionally actually do. We have this phrase being thin-skinned when you're affected by things, and we actually have thinner skin. Who knew? Fascinating. So you might be sensitive emotionally and also sensitive to certain things that you eat. For instance, I get drunk very quickly. I get very crazy on just like half a glass of wine. I'm there. And very affected by things on my skin. So even though we have cats, I'm allergic to them, and I have to be careful what happens on my skin with the cats. So all of these things add up to a level of sensitivity. But here's the thing, here's the light bulb moment I had, and I want to share with you, is that it works both ways. If you are sensitive to the negativity, the upset, the chaos, the worry, the drama, the whatever, the news, you are also super sensitive to all the things that can help you to feel better. So you will also be really good at visualizing a better time, a better mindset. You will also be better at being affected by good breathing techniques, by relaxing the muscles, by doing some dancing, listening to music, all the things that make you feel better. So please, please, please do not underestimate the things that will make you feel better. Do more of them today.